Oh, hey. I saw Happy Gilmore too. It really sucked. It was really bad. I wasn't expecting it to be so terrible, but it was. Why bother? Why bother? Like, he has all the money. I wasn't expecting it to be. I saw the people's reviews, and based on that, I thought I'd probably like it, even though the reviews were unfavorable. And I saw it, well, obviously I saw it at somebody else's house. I don't have Netflix. So they had a high deflex, like, I don't know, 8K ultra high definition TV or something. And it looked like a video. It looked like it was shot on video. And Adam Sandler was like, I mean, I don't know, he always, you know, like, who's he supposed to be? You know, he's just kind of that guy. It was just awful. Everything, like, like, the ideas of jokes were just, it sucked. And there's all kinds of cameos by people that were like, oh, look who it is. And I'm like, I have no idea who that is. I liked the part where Eminem got eaten by alligators. That was good. But they should have had blood in the water. That would have been funny. I hate Eminem. The rapper, not the candy. So one singular Eminem, terrible. M&M's plural, delicious, but not like multiple rappers named Eminem. You know, like the candy. There was a guy called 8 Ball. There was a black guy in the movie called 8 Ball. You know what 8 Ball was when I was a kid? Well, it was like, it's a heroin, right? But also, there was a comic book. It was a little before my time, but you could get it because nobody cared about it. It was worthless. You know, it didn't have value. And there was a comic book called Little 8 Ball, and it's racist. It was like a mockery of a black child. And he had like big red lips. And it was the like caricature. A pickaninny, or they call it Americana. And like, oh, the racist black people stuff that people collect. It's like, it's just, there was a character in Happy Gilmore. In Happy Gilmore too. And there's a black guy called 8 Ball. That used to be like a racist term. Did you ever see Full Metal Jacket? And they called the black guy 8 Ball. Because there used to be a comic book called Little 8 Ball. That was, you know, like he'd always like burning his hands on, you know, like trying to steal pies off of windowsills and shit like it's that. It's racist. Like 10 cents. There's probably like hundreds of issues of it. I thought that was weird. I was like, wow, times have changed. People don't even know that 8 Ball used to be a racial slur. You know, or if you're in a Vietnam movie, a cool nickname. 8 Ball was one of the coolest characters in... Was it Full Metal Jacket, or was it... What's the one with, What's the one that has Charlie Sheen in it? That's the one that had the character named 8 Ball. And it was the name of the black guy. And he was a cool character. And I'm like, oh no, they killed 8 Ball. And I was like, they killed my guy. And remember when the one guy picked up he's like, look, a teddy bear. And I'm like, no, don't touch it. And he explodes. Because he touched a pink teddy bear. It's a trap. Billy Madison too sucked. But I saw Happy Gilmore too, and that sucked too. Shooter McGavin was a crazy guy. Want spoilers? Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. Shooter McGavin is a crazy guy, and he becomes friends with Billy Madison. That actually kind of makes sense. But they had him locked up in an insane asylum, which just seems like a stupid choice. Like, That was kind of a cool character as a villain. Not that they have to be villains again, but even if Billy Madison and Shooter McGavin were friends in this one, even though it's called Happy Gilmore 2, it would make more sense that he would like be good at messing with people, you know? But they just made him like crazy, so it just seems like it was just sucked. The movie was just awful. So Adam Sandler, they killed his girlfriend, and they had like 5 kids. So he has a bunch of sons and daughters. And Happy Gilmore is poor again, and they all live in like a house, you know, like in New Jersey or wherever they live. And that part of the movie's okay. Okay, that's a good premise. The wife dies, and he's poor again. There's just so many things that go nowhere. So Carl Weathers, rest in peace, actually died. That was his coach. Hey Chubbs, the guy with the wooden hand. So at the end of the movie, they just throw it in like within the last 20 minutes probably. Billy Madison goes to another mini golf place. Excuse me. And he finds Chubbs' son, which is a big fat black guy. And they don't even care. I mean, I kind of thought it was funny. But the guy is just holding a wooden hand under his sweater, and you can see his hand under the sweater, and they're not even trying to hide that the guy doesn't really have a wooden hand. It's just like, obviously it's a guy holding onto a stick with a wooden hand on the end of it, and Billy Madison shakes his hand and breaks the guy's fingers off, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" It was stupid. But that was kind of funny. The idea that they, like, oh, Chubbs has a son, and his name is Slim, and it's a big fat guy. And he has a wooden hand, too, like his dad. It's so stupid. That's funny. So was there things that were funny in it? Yeah. But there was a lot of things that weren't funny in it. Shooter McGavin and Billy Madison, before they become friends, have a fight in the cemetery. And it's a cemetery full of all the people from Happy Gilmore 1 that are dead. Even the lady with the air conditioner that fell on her. Spoiler alert. Because they're all dead for real. And, that's not, I don't know what that is. I don't know, I didn't laugh at that. I was just like, oh, they're having a fight in a cemetery, and all the tombstones are obviously, transparently people from the movie that are dead now. It's weird. It's strawberry jam. It's good. When I get jam, I have to read the label because I don't want any that says it has gelatin in it, because it always makes me think it's probably made out of human bones or something. So I only get the kind that have fruit pectin and sugar. No corn syrup. Strawberry jam. Somebody made me zucchini jam. I haven't opened yet. I'm kind of savoring it. I'm like, no, I'll save that for when it's like it starts getting cold and shitty. Anyway, Happy Madison 2. His wife, which is the same woman from the first movie, looks like a different person. She looks like a hot chick, but it's like the good plastic surgery. Like, she got old and she looks good. And it's obviously her, but it looks like somebody else. It looks like another woman. So that's what plastic surgery is now. You look like like a human when you're young, and oh, she's pretty. That's Billy Madison. That's Virginia Abbott or whatever her name is in the movie. That's her. That's really her. But she looks like somebody else. That's weird. But she still looks good. She doesn't look like a plastic surgery nightmare. But that's how good plastic surgery is now. You look like somebody else. Remember when Uma Thurman showed up at some kind of event and people said, look, what the hell happened? Uma Thurman looks like somebody else. And then there was a couple other actresses that had work done, and they look good and they look pretty, but they look like Renee Zellweger. That was the other one. They're like, who is that? That's not Bridget Jones. Remember, she was kind of fat. I never saw Bridget Jones, but I know that she was in the movie. The Brits like that. R.I.P. the UK. Sorry. So I don't know how to explain it. It was weird. I was like, that's obviously her, and she looks great, but it looks like somebody else. That's weird. Adam Sandler. People have criticized like a bunch of movies he's been in that I haven't seen, where they say he just kind of like walks through them. That's what this feels like. I mean, it doesn't seem like he hates being there. It seems like he's kind of, I don't know, like the character is really nothing. You know, like in the first movie he's like angry and stuff. In this one he's like a drunk, except he's not really a drunk. They bring Ben Stiller, like really the villain in the movie is Ben Stiller. Really? Ben Stiller looks the same. Does that guy age? I guess I'm criticizing people's looks. So, the premise was Adam Sandler lives in a house in the city with his family. And that part that's the part that kind of works. Then they throw in this whole extreme mini golfing thing where like they made a guy that's like I don't know, he's supposed to be like a caricature of Bam Margera, but Bam Margera wasn't like that guy. So they have this extreme sports guy, so people like to play mini golf. So this guy wants to do maxi golf. So it's like extreme golfing, and it's inspired by Happy Gilmore. But Happy Gilmore doesn't like the guy, so he throws them in a lobster tank. So then the enemy of the movie is supposed to be the extreme sports guy that wants to do maxi golf. And it's just thrown in the end. Like they spend all this money. Haley Joel Osment is in it. And there's a surgery you can get where you get your hip muscle cut so that you can have a really good long drive. So there's a golf team of like Happy Gilmores, and one of them is Haley Joel Osment, and the other one's a redhead in like go-go boots or whatever. It's stupid. And they're supposed to be extreme sports guys, and it sucks. And it was terrible. And you know, why bother? I thought it was gonna be okay. So other people reviewed it, and a couple of them said, you know, it's crap, but it was funny, I laughed, and I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. So I said, let's watch that one, we'll watch Happy Gilmore, and okay. And it was terrible. I'm trying to think of other things to shit on about it. The thing to me, I didn't say anything when I was watching it, but I was like, 8-ball is like a racial slur. Like you can't just, like they just called the black guy 8-ball. I'm like, what is that about? That was surprising. And I'm like, well, times change. People don't even know that was a racial slur. I guess. And Guy Fieri's in it. He's the host of the Extreme Mini Golf. There's a whole bunch of shit they just threw in. Like they're like, hey, we're gonna throw Eminem in, and he's gonna be Joe Flaherty's son. He's the son of the jerk off guy. You're a jerk off. Remember that guy? And then Eminem is his son. And then Jaws from, his name is Richard something. I forget the actor's name. Anyway, the really tall guy that was in Happy Gilmore 2, and he had the nail in his head. Well, his son's in this one, so they put a wig on him so him and his dad would have the same haircut. And it's that giant guy from John Wick. Remember when John Wick fights the giant guy in the library, and it's like not convincing fighting because the guy's so tall that he can't move really fast or anything, because it's probably incredibly painful just to be alive. Because, you know what I mean? Do you ever see the really tall people like that, and the way that they move, it looks like it hurts just to exist? Well, that was the son of Happy Gilmore's boss that he shot in the head with a nail gun. And then there was a reoccurring joke where Happy Gilmore, if I say Billy Madison, you know I mean Happy Gilmore. I was calling him Happy Madison. I like those movies. I like both of them. I made my girlfriend, I said, we're going to see Billy Madison. She's like, what even is that? I'm like, I don't know. We're going to see that. It was like, you know, one for you, one for me. We see a chick flick, and then I want to see Happy Billy Madison. And we both liked it. And then when it came out in VHS, she got it. She's like, look what I got. And she got Billy Madison. And we watched it over and over again. And we watched all the Chris Farleys, except for Fat Ninja, like Tommy Boy and all. We watched all those movies. They're good. I like them. And then we watched Happy Gilmore too. I think maybe she liked Happy Gilmore more than Billy Madison. But I'm like, I loved Billy Madison because it's back to school. You ever see Rodney Dangerfield's Back to School? Adam Sandler probably loves Rodney Dangerfield. So Billy Madison is back to school. Except Rodney Dangerfield goes back to college, so it's lewd and dirty. He's like, hey, everybody's gonna get laid, and everything, tits and everything. But Billy Madison, he goes to elementary school. I don't need to explain to you Billy Madison. Everybody knows this movie. Are you gonna do that one next? That could be funny. And who's Steve Buscemi gonna kill for Billy Madison at the end of the movie this time? You gonna put a lipstick? Remember that? That was funny. So, it's ASMR's hole. Remember me? So what else? I'm trying to think of anything else from the movie. It's so slapped together, and it looks like they spent money on it. And it looked like it was shot on video because this ultra high definition TV makes everything look like shit. That's what 8K Ultra HD looks like. It makes everything look like a video. I remember seeing, there was playing a Clint Eastwood movie, Outlaw Josie Wales, and it was in that, and I was like, it looks like shit. Like they took away like the dreaminess of film and all that alchemy of celluloid and all this. It's all gone. It just makes everything look like a shitty video. The Walking Dead. I don't know what that's shot on. I was a house guest at somebody's house, and they were watching The Walking Dead. This is years ago. Whatever, like 4K probably TV. And it looked like it was like a soap opera. I was like, this is kind of cool for Walking Dead because it doesn't look like it's shot on film or whatever. It looks like it's shot on video. So it was like watching like an outdoor soap opera. That was kind of cool for that, even though The Walking Dead sucks and I hate it. But Happy Gilmore looked like that too. It just looked like it was shot on video. And they misused Shooter McGavin. He lost his grandma's house again. And at the end of the movie, they just throw it all, it's just like all slapped together. Like, oh yeah, and if I make this shot, then I want my grandma's house back. He literally says that at the end of the movie, because they get kicked. Remember how it's so important to him to live in his grandma's, my grandfather built that house, and all that shit. And then, so in this movie, he loses the house. That's why they live in a shitty house in the city, because he loses all the money and everything. When his wife dies, he becomes an alcoholic. And then him and his kids, he has like a daughter, which is his real daughter. And then he has 5 sons. And they all live, and none of them look like each other. And they all live in this shitty little house. So at the end of the movie, they just kind of throw it in there. They're like, and if I make this shot, you have to buy a restaurant for my caddy. You have to... They make a bet with the extreme sports guy, the Bam Margera guy or whatever. Who's nothing like Bam Margera. And then you have to buy my grandmother's house back. He says it. He's like, you have to, you know, he says he wants all these things. He has a list of requests. And you can't do extreme sports. You can't do your maxi golf. If I make this shot, no maxi golf. I want my grandma's house back. You have to put my daughter through college. That was the other one. And you have to buy my caddy a restaurant. And then he makes the shot, and they're like, yay! And he gets all the things. And they just threw it in there, like it's, the way I'm telling it to you, I should have been quicker. That's the first thing. It sucked. And like the whole movie was like that. Just put this in here, put that in here, put that in here. And then like he goes golfing with Eric Andre and some other people. And you're supposed to, you know, I'm old, so I don't know who they are. I know who Eric Andre is. And he got fat. And his moles are getting bigger. You can have that looked at. And it was awful, and he wasn't funny. And nobody, I don't know, it was just sucked. Steve Buscemi pissing in the mailbox was funny. That's it, you know? Like, whatever else I said was funny. I don't know, there was some funny things. But I was like, you know, like, it's a sequel where if you see it, you're like, that's what happened to Happy Gilmore. It's like, yeah, who gives a shit? And I really liked the first one. It's funny. There wasn't anything like that. Adam Sandler, I think the thing that he said was that about, like, Billy Madison, I think. He said he wanted to make whatever movie he wanted, and he knew that if he didn't ask for a lot of money, they'd kind of just, like, stay out of his way and let him make it because it was, like, a $5 million movie. Who gives a shit? Like, you know, to the movie studio. Like, he wants okay, whatever. We'll put it on video. But then it was a big hit, and it made Adam Sandler's career Billy Madison. And then Happy Gilmore was, a lot of people liked that better. And my progeny growing up, they liked Big Daddy. So I've seen that many times too. And that was the beginning of Adam Sandler doing his type of family movies. And I remember going to the movie theater, the local multiplex, and 2 movies were playing at the same time. I think it was Grandma's Boy and Waiting. And now that I've seen both those movies, I'm like, I wish I would have seen them in the movie theater, because I like both those movies too, and they kind of fit together. They're both like stoner movies, I guess, really. And like, you know, degenerate, like we're just young and wasting our lives and make jobs and whatever. That's Grandma's Boy, right? And that's, I mean, that's Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. And boy, you can't get away with stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in Waiting that's not acceptable anymore. All that predatory stuff. Because Ryan Reynolds played the guy that preyed on the girls. Grandma's Boy. They shouldn't try and make a sequel to that. I mean, that could have worked a couple years ago. Now, don't do it. Oh, Grandma died. Now we have a game company inside of Grandma's house. That would work. Except, don't do it. I don't think they ever will. That's not going to happen. I hope. Yeah, the best Happy Madison movie doesn't have Adam Sandler in it. How about that? I don't know. It sucked. The end.